John Wacka Williams, former national senator. So the UN's apparently turned around and said just 14 grams of meat is what you're allowed every single day. Wacka, how over that quota are you today, pal?
Yeah. Leg of lamb at home out of the freezer, Paul. 2 of them a year. You're allowed to have 2 that size a year. Yeah. I mean, this is madness. I just done some research on it today, Paul. 1.3 billion jobs on planet Earth rely on livestock, whether it be the farmers, the farm owners, the farm workers, the transporters, abattoirs workers, the exporters, the restaurants, the McDonald's workers, you name it. And these people are saying, get out of your sheep and cattle. It's causing too much climate change and eat minuscule amounts of red meat. Give me a break.
But that's all right. All of those 1 billion people, they can just build wind farms, can't they?
Yeah, and perhaps not in wind farms, just have a chain on they can stand there and turn the handle instead of relying on the wind, perhaps, you know? I mean, this is lunacy. I keep saying to you, Paul, this green religion will take us to the land of poverty, nothing sure. And why the United Nations comes out with this rot, but it gets better. We actually, science, as Bronwyn Bishop said earlier on technology, we've now discovered through the CSIRO that if we feed some seaweed supplements, Asparagopsis it's called, the emissions from the cattle and sheep are virtually zilch, and they actually do better and produce more meat and more milk. So technology through CSIRO, feed a seaweed supplement to your sheep and cattle, and they perform better, produce better, and no emissions. So to hell with winding down the numbers, let's stick with the technology if that's what they want.
Yeah, correct. But also, we've talked to farmers before, talked to you over the many years, where the prescription that gets made overseas gets picked up by the activists here, runs around in the echo chambers of taxpayer TV, radio and the Turnbull Times, and then eventually it ends up that people who know what they're doing, who are taking care of their flock, who are taking care of their stock, end up having to justify their existence day after day after day, mate.
That's the problem, Paul. People actually listen to this lunacy. 1,300-page report from the United Nations, a bloke who set up a group called EAT, capital letters, don't know what the acronym stands for, but now promoting this sort of stupidity. And next thing you say, you have people starving, lack of protein, lack of energy, lack of iron, and wonder why. 14 grams a day, that's about 1 steak a month. Paul, I'd eat that 2 or 3 times a week on average.
I don't think there's any doubt about that. Great, man. Also, I've got to ask you too, and I know we didn't get you on to talk about this. All week I've been banging on in Victoria that they've done this deal, or they've just made this announcement, basically, where farmers, despite the fact that it's their land that butts right up onto the Crown land that's on a river, have to let members of the public walk onto their farms, set up farms on riverbanks, and of course nobody booking. And apparently the only restriction is that you can stay 100 metres away from a farmer's house. What sort of lunatic activists are going to use this loophole to find a way to cause some havoc on farms in Victoria?
Exactly, give them access. So they're protesting against the piggery, the dairy farm, you name it. Just keep them off the properties. Next thing they'll be leaving gates open, stock out onto the road. Someone hits a cow with their car. Next thing you know, seriously injured or even worse. I mean, this is lunacy, Paul. And let farmers, we're very lucky in Australia. We have great farmers, produce great food that the world want. Just let farmers do their work, do their job. They do it so well. They're very productive, the best product in the world. Let's just get out of their road and let them do their job.
Yep, I'm with you. Wacka, we love you, mate. All the best to your good self, wonderful Nancy.
All the best to everyone. Thanks, Paul.